a more traditional look. So we've got the jewellery makeup again here. And if you can just make out this jagged line, that is the shape of England. Quite a striking programme in its own right. Let's have a closer look at this, shall we? And here we have this very old-fashioned, the evening news. And we've got this sans serif type coming into play here. Wonderful colours here. So we've got the action shots, and then we've got this wonderful static group here, the actual team themselves, an agency photographer would have turned up to the day. Underneath, it mentions quite clearly all the various members of the team. I think what is quite special is this little cluster of autographs that we've got here from the team. And we've got Arsenal versus Liverpool, and the date here is 71. So what we're moving on another 5 years.
Yeah.
So they've had advancements in photography and various forms of type and all sorts of things like that. Again, we've got really strong colours. So we've got photographers of the day taking pictures here. This one here is all the team. We've got this great action shot here, possibly Bob Wilson. And then we've got a team shot here, Liverpool, in all their colours. So how come they're yours?
It was acquired as a charity function.
Right, okay. So you had to put your hand up.
We certainly
Did you get carried away?
There were 10 of us on the table, and we thought that it was signed by Bobby Moore.
Right, so we haven't got a Bobby Moore signature, which is a little bit significant because he was the captain, wasn't he?
That's correct.
And if they can price this out of you, you got any special plans for the money?
This will be going to charity.
Oh, brilliant. You're a good man. Well done. Here we go. Let's put some money down. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. You're still looking. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 220, 240, 260. Alex, I haven't got a clue what this is worth.
I don't think it's enough because the programme
very high volumes of calls, which may lead to longer than usual wait times. We apologise if you find yourself waiting. We're working very hard to get you a call as soon as possible. Please note, we can issue walking aids, for example, sticks, frames, or wheelchairs. If you are calling about these, please contact your GP surgery and ask to be referred to wheelchair services or the community health physio for walking aids. If you are calling to pay an invoice, please hang up and dial 0333 555 221, as we will not be able to help you. The County Council seeks to ensure zero tolerance of harassment, discrimination, bullying and abuse. We would like to thank you in advance for treating our team with consideration and respect when they tried to help you with your inquiry. We comply with data protection legislation. You can find our privacy notice at hams.gov.uk/privacy. We record calls to make sure you're getting the best service possible. If your inquiry is regarding the sum of £65 or over, please press 1. If your call is about invoice or account inquiry, advices that can help you or your loved ones stay safe at home. Speak to our advisors to find out more about the Argentine Care Technology Service. We're doing all we can to get you called. We're sorry it's taking longer than usual. Our web pages have a wide range of information about services to help support independent living and well-being. Just visit health.gov.uk, then just type in adult social care and click on the bell link. If you're worried about having a services to help you stay safe at home, please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
Oh, fuck it. I forgot to get Coke. I don't watch football. I don't like football. People are going crazy. They're like, yeah, drinking and all that and going crazy. And then they lose and they get angry. and they take it out on their family or their friends.
If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
I don't like Discord. I think it is. I tried it, and I don't know. Someone called me a fat old man, and I'm a loser. But I'm the piano man. You know, I've been helping people, and I'm the family friend and all that. But I've got a bad back, and I'm a little bit blind, and I put on weight when I was put in section units. That was terrible.
If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
Oh.
If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
Oh. Oh.
If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend
Yeah.
services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
One guy, right? I could hear his voice, and he was going, "I'm going to kill you. I'm just going to come over there and sort you out." And fucking, he just didn't like me. And when I fell asleep about 4 a.m, I was like this, right? And he was just I don't know. He wasn't very nice. He just wasn't very nice. And it put me off. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. That's cool.
If you're worried about having a fall,
Yeah.
we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information.
It's terrible. It's really bad. I mean, I could never say I'm going to kill someone, but I do know my friend on Instagram. He's Cogs. he's from New York, and he actually sent me some money on my PayPal because I had no food or tobacco. They actually talk to each other in America, and they want to kill each other. It's crazy how they want to kill each other. And they say nigger a lot, all the time. If you talk to the police in the UK, they will go crazy. They'll be like, you can't say nigger, you're not allowed to say it.
If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. If you're worried about having a fall, we can recommend services to help you stay safe at home. Please speak to our advisors for more information. Good afternoon, Adult Health Care Team.
Hello. I have been phoning quite a lot over the weeks and days and everything. My name's Gordon Thomas White, 61 Cox Road. I moved here in 99, and about 2004, my mum got me sectioned. I've got a lower backache. I've got a hernia in my stomach. And I need cleaners. I was told I'll be getting cleaners, but I've not had cleaners yet.
Okay, let's have a look at this for you, Gordon. So can I just take your date of birth to get you
Yeah.
your details on the system?
8th of August, 1967. 8/8/67.
8/8/67.
Yeah. I've got across the road. I've got a chip shop and a co-op shop. I just walked up to the co-op shop and I struggled like hell to get there. And then I walked in the shop and I sat down straight away in agony, absolute agony. And I got home and now I'm just like laying down on my settee in pain with it's my lower backache. You know, it's a trapped nerve. Well, I did go to my doctor some time ago in my Freelander, and they gave me a place to go, and I had some massaging. But then they wanted me to do exercise as well, and I mean, I was lifting pianos for years, and it's just hard to do any kind of crazy exercises. I was before the sections, I was walking over to Lord's Hill and doing about 10 miles a day. But I couldn't cope with my mum telling me to come back later and things like that.
So when you say it's cleaners that you're after, so what is it respect?
Well, if I'm using my muscles to actually scrub a cup or something, it penetrates my lower back, my spine. It just starts to ache and hurt. And I've also got I've got a little plug-in thing to actually deal with flies and things. But I've got loads of little black flies everywhere. I mean, and I've got to organise my clothes and get rid of my clothes, and you know, I've got stuff that don't fit me. I was slim and I end up quite fat now after being sectioned.
Have you got any other support network around you?
Nothing. Nobody. I've got a mate in Halifax. Oh yeah. The issue is, I went from O2 to Vodafone, but Vodafone ripped me off. My friend said that they're ripping you off. They're charging you far too much money. And now they want me to cancel. They want me to pay them £250 to cancel the contract that they put on me. But they actually approached me and set up a really expensive contract. And 67 pence to send the picture. They give me 20 gigabytes of data. And my mate he set me up with giffgaff, and it's 500 gigabytes for 20 quid. You know. Yeah, that I do. I need. I mean, Julie Barsey was my social worker, and she did talk to O2 about them asking for money out of me. And she managed to get it all sorted out and squashed and everything. And I need someone like that to actually get in touch with Vodafone and say, look, you cannot take money from a vulnerable man. I'm vulnerable. My brain was bleeding. I'm kind of accepting deals that are far too expensive. I'm getting ripped off. It's crazy. But they wanted £70 a month.
I can certainly follow that up for you, Gordon. With your
Yeah.
allocated key worker, who I can see that's assigned to you on your record here. But I can certainly get in contact with them for you today.
Yeah.
And also I can let them know that you did make further communication in yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay? And then what I'll do with that information, I'll process that through straight to them as we speak now. And
Yeah.
I'll get one of your allocated key workers to give you a contact call back just to follow up as to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
So in terms of things like your personal care and everything like that, you seem okay.
Well, I'm a bit upset really because I sometimes out of the blue I use my washing machine, and I'll put some clothes in. But I mean, I don't do it much because my back is aching too much. It's crazy. My back is terrible. Julie was going to get me a walking frame and everything.
Well, I'll definitely let the key worker know that, okay? But
Yeah.
in terms of your back situation, I would definitely suggest that you contact the GP. If you feel like you're in any pain at all, just give the GP a call, okay? And they'll be able to assist you from there. But with your call that you're making this afternoon, I'll certainly follow up this up with the key worker for you, okay?
Yeah, I need carers and cleaners.
Okay.
And a social worker to deal with bloody Vodafone.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what the social worker is actually looking at.
Yeah.
As we speak. So what I will get them to follow this up as soon as possible. Would you like to just take a contact telephone number, please, Gordon?
Yeah.
How can we get you on?
075 111 97665.
97665, and that's the number you're calling in on now. I can see on the system.
Yeah. Before the internet, we had a telesales. We had a lady taking our phone calls. I had a business card. My boss, he was pretty cool actually. I was buying and selling pianos from Somerset to London. I've been in the Dutch embassy. All the families loved me. It was great to have a piano from us, and we started from 175 upwards. And I was buying pianos for like £10 at a time. And all that. Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. But like I said, just leave that with me. I will call for the key worker for you now, okay? And I'll get them to contact you back as soon as possible, and I'll get them to follow that up with you. Is that going to be all right, Gordon?
Yeah.
All right.
If I can get my back sorted out and my stomach gone,
You ring the GP, okay? That's the best thing for you to do with respect to your back there, okay? If you're in any pain, please consult the GP for that.
I'm great with families. I can work with families. Like you do, you work with families. I mean, you deal with foster placements. I went to foster placements, school meetings. I got them all Christmas presents. 3 families in Lords Hill. I looked after them. And Carol Flood, she's dead now, but I took her to the Royal Southampton Hospital for medication. I better go now.
No, that's absolutely fine, Gordon. No problem at all. Leave that with me. I'll contact your social worker as we speak now, okay? And I'll get them to follow us up later. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, take care of yourself.
All right. Bye then.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Mr. Sunderland. Fuck it. If I can get my doctors to massage my back, every day, all the time, just massage all the time, and let me do what I want to do. I don't want to keep doing exercises. I want to rest. I want to have massaging done so I can actually maneuver and walk around and do little jobs. Like make a cup of tea or do some washing up. It's crazy. I mean, I could work with families again. But I won't be selling them pianos. But I mean, I'm probably looking after the family. And like I looked after the family at Lords Hill. I took them up to Derby to see their dad. I think what I love about Discord is when you're on there, you can chat and you're chatting to lots of different people. There's loads of people, so you could be talking to someone, or on YouTube you might not be talking to anybody. It's quite mad, really. My legs are aching like crazy. It's just here, it's hurting a lot. It's loads of pain there. Oh. Whoa. Hell, oh my God. Oh, my muscles. Oh. Oh, for this one. I'm a bit really cold actually, I think. I'm freezing on it.
Along with the Bristol Blue Oil and Vinegar Cruet set at 45, we have a total of £100.
I'm here to haggle hard.
Oh dear.
I'm going for it, Peter. I'm going for it. It's £100. Peter, would you dare sell the two for £60?
Well, what I was thinking was I knocked you a third off, which would
Oh,
bring it down to 65,000.
65.
So you had a good stab at 60, didn't you?
I can most definitely deal with 65. Are you sure with that?
At the moment, yes.
Right, well, let's shake on it before you change your mind.
Nice to
Oh.
do business.
I'll hand that over to you.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wasn't he lovely? Good work, Natasha. That breaks down to 25 for the Bristol Blue Oil and Vinegar set and 40 for the 1920s flapper dress.
Normal. Absolutely normal.
Yes. Meanwhile, let's find an issue. Ah, got it.
Now, there's one surefire way to feel like a top dog, and that's having a dog-shaped inkwell. And he's holding this cane. It's got a brass or some sort of gilt metal collar. You open up the collar and you put your little cavity here for your ink. I think this is so fun. It's like 1910, and it's moulded glass. It's got a ticket price of £75. I think I've been barking mad not to buy this. I love him.
Let's woof it over to Dina Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
Morning.
How's it going?
Fine, thank you.
Let's start with the Glass Terrier Inkwell, priced at 75.
I could do it for 60.
I can't push you to 55.
Okay, go on then, 55.
And there is something else before we shake hands on 55. I've seen in one of the rooms, in one of the cabinets at the back, there's a rug. I don't know if it's for sale, I don't know what condition it is. It's the Islamic looking one.
Yes, it can be 20, but that's the bottom line.
Perfect. If you're happy with 75, I'd like
Yeah,
to take both.
fine.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you. Let me get the cash out.
Now, we just need to get the prayer mat.
Well, unfortunately, it's in two parts, potentially missing a third part, but these are the risks you take.
Crumbs. Fishy now has £892. Now, I spy a Natasha.
Every time that you go driving without your buddy, you really miss them. He's forever on my mind.
Natasha is off to the coast, to the town of Bridlington. Dubbed the lobster capital of Europe, it lands over 300 tons of the luxury crustacean every year. Gosh! And there she is. Make it snappy. And let's get in here to the Georgian Rooms Antique Centre. Lots of nooks and crannies to investigate in here. Aye, aye, Captain. With just over £1,000, let's get rootling.
That deserves a closer look. Where am I? Cabinet 23. I like your style. I was hoping that would be a wee bit heavier, truth be told, but I think that is really smart. So what am I looking at? Potpourri, I believe, but isn't that just a really decorative, smart piece? Now, you have to get your eye in a little bit because the brass is ever so slightly planished, so it's been hammered and hand beaten. So we're talking arts and crafts here, but it's these little roundels, you could call them, but actually, are they not stylized roses? Is that not what they are? It makes me think just a little reminder of Charles Rennie Mackintosh's Glasgow Rose. Okay, not the same, I'm not getting carried away.
It's priced at £32.
It's lasted this long, don't drop it now. It's okay if you drop it, it's hand hammered, it's just another little bit of planishing. I just think that's really smart.
While Tash continues her mooch, Ishi is 8 miles southwest in the hamlet of Ruston Harbour. Phil Edmund Antiques is based here in this beautiful rural idyll. Once a rundown pig farm, it's now transformed into a festival of antique goodies. Looks great for a snout about. £892, that's the sum of smackaroonies young Ishi has. Let's see what he finds.
Hello.
Don't think there's anybody down there.
So, this looks like a carriage or a method of transportation, but it's actually something quite different. There's a little seat here. You slide it open. I'm going to see if I can fit. I think you'd have to be a little bit smaller than I am. And there's 2 pedals here, and it would work better if my legs were a tiny bit shorter.
Your trainers are too big. Tell us more, Ishi.
You pedal on here for wheel turns, grindstones, and these would be used to sharpen knives, tools, and other implements in your house. Back when we had less of a throwaway culture, so tradesmen would travel across the country with this portable grinder, visiting village to village, and people would bring their stuff and have it sharpened on the go. I mean, I haven't seen one of these in real life.
Fascinating piece of social history.
I think for me, it's probably not the best buy for auction, not the most commercial item, but what an interesting object. It tells a story, and it still works. Even if you don't use it as a knife grinder, it's pretty good cardio.
He's always thinking. Back to Tash in Burlington.
Oh, I love this shape. Essentially a square, but then cut off each corner, canted corners. For me, it's Georgian. Here we go. Do we have the interior lid? We do. Oh, but look at that. We also have some lovely scratches. And of course, you have to lock the teeth. It's so expensive. We did not want someone to take your teeth.
By Victorian times, tea was so popular that tea clippers like the Country Stark could carry 10,000 tea chests at a time, enough to make 200 million cups of tea.
But that is just a lovely, honest piece, one to think about. Canted corners, one of my favourite catalogue descriptions ever.
Interesting. What about Ishi in Ruston Harbour?
Now, these are really interesting. There's a pair, but I'll just show the mechanism on one of them. These are called shutter dogs, and this would be embedded into a wall, a brick wall, externally. And this mechanism, the face here, you pull it up and down, and when it was in the up position, it would hold your shutters in place. Now, they're called shutter dogs because dog in English was a type of fastener, so shutter fastener got simplified to shutter dog, and the name kind of stuck.
Yeah. Woof. Great fine, Izzy.
I've seen these even used as towel holders in your kitchen. Pull that in and press the towel on. Functional objects. I mean, I like the French match pair. I love them. I think they're so different. They don't know the ticket price.
Let's find out what price then. How much for the shutter dogs, Phil?
What's the best price in
£25 the pair.
£25?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Time for the cash.
Thank you kindly, Phil. Ishii now has £867. Now, is Natasha having success in Bridlington?
Delighted that this cabinet is open because it's full of beauties. The shape stands out for sure. Look at that. Oh, it's all about this handle. The ram. That is so stylish. Bit of silver plate by the looks of it. Just really nicely cast. Can you imagine a full set with everything adorned with this ram's head? Absolutely incredible. Very Robert Adam, very late 18th century.
Born in Kirkcaldy in Scotland, Robert Adam was one of the most important British architects and designers of the 18th century, favouring the neoclassical style.
Our dealer has this marked up at £18. William Padley of Sheffield, 1890s. Now, I was hoping late Victorian, was I not? So that gives me hope. I like the style. I like what I've learned. I love the price. We're having that.
Stand by dealer Giles. And let's not forget the Scottish Arts and Crafts, brass potpourri, and the George III tea caddy. All three come to a total of £68.
Giles, hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So how do you want to play it? Do you want to get into lengthy negotiations, or should we just go for your best price?
Well, despite being in Yorkshire, I will offer you a deal. £60 for the lot.
£60. I'll shake your hands on that. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. 3 £20 notes
Thank you very much.
and 3 items to collect. So Giles, thank you. I'll go and grab them and see you again.
Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Many thanks to you, Giles. Natasha now has £945 to spend.
What a haul. The tango. Are you in the mood for an Argentine?
I think you'll have to teach me. I can like do a sway. I could do like an R&B bop.
An R&B bop, that'll do. Let's go bop somewhere.
Don't stay up too late. Nighty night.
What's your plan of action today?
Find a constable. Full stop. There is no other plan,
You'll
is there?
find a Vincent.
Van Gogh, sure. Absolutely. Constable or Van Gogh? Anyone else?
Maybe a Matisse? Yesterday, Natasha was in Super Warrior mode. She bought loads. The Bristol Blue Oil and Vinegar Cruet set, the flapper dress, the Scottish Arts and Crafts brass potpourri, the tea caddy, and the cream jug. Lovely.
We're having that.
Natasha now has £945. While Ishii was a little more cautious, buying the bits of prayer mat, the terrier dog Inkwell, and a pair of French shutter dogs.
I love them. I think they're so cool.
Ishii has £867 left.
I think I know what my highlight's been thus far. Seeing you sing, it was such a beautiful moment.
Don't think Ishii agrees.
Shall we send our mum's cards from our trip?
Let's do it.
We should. We
Let's
should
find
write
the
them
postcard.
cards. Dear Mama.
Dear Mama, I am thrashing Natasha at this competition. Beginner's luck.
You wish, Ishii. But first, deep in the country, time for something amusing.
Right, Ishii, I grabbed my phone because I was missing home a wee bit. And I thought, what could remind me of home? Come on.
The Highland cow, typically found in the glens of Scotland. Utterly exciting. This is Chip,
That's like you at dinner last night.
cheeky, and this is Morag.
Oh, look at this. Look at Morag. Look, she loves it right under the chin.
Oh,
Oh, she's so adorable.
Chip's got a killer fringe.
A killer fringe.
Yeah.
Do you think that you've been taking style tips from Chip?
It's okay. I don't think he heard.
Oh, this is lovely. What do you think, Morag?
I think Chip's interested in my shoes.
Oh, is he having a chew?
I'm gonna have to wash my shoes now, Chip.
He could have done worse.
I think if we just do it a bit like this, I think me and you are almost twins. What do we reckon?
It's uncanny. While Tash bonds with Morag, Ishi needs to make a move. He's nabbed the motor. Yeah, I'm milking it.
This car has been a delight and I'm loving driving it. It looks so good. I feel like a film star in this actually.
Intrepid explorer Ishi has now made it to Spurn Point. 1100 hours. Rendezvous. Yorkshire's very own Land's End. A constantly moving sandy peninsula defending the Humber estuary from the unforgiving tides of the North Sea. Mission? Powerful forces of wind and waves make this evocative landscape one of the fastest eroding coastlines in Europe. Protection is needed. Prowling the perimeter inside this military unimog is conservation superhero Adam Stoyle of the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust.
Hi, Ishi, welcome to Spain. What's with the military vehicle? Well, this is how we get down to the point now. In 2013, the road got washed away by a big tidal surge, so that's the only remaining road that we've got.
The characteristic spit of Spurn, an extended stretch of sand jutting into the sea, has been formed over more than 10,000 years to create the 3-mile stretch of dunes we see today.
When did people first settle here? How did anything get built here? So people settled from the medieval times. There used to be a big fort that would rival Grimsby and Hull.
Ishi could do with a hat. Coastal erosion here has kept cartographers busy for centuries. First settlers arrived here in the 14th century at the ancient port of Ravenspurn, which would become one of 30 towns and villages that have since succumbed to the sea.
People decided to stay here and build here, mostly for the maritime history, so it's such a vital import and export, and our protecting of the dangerous channels and things, why people are still down here.
Spurn was a vital navigational landmark for sailors, but the choppy waters and busy channel meant the lifeboat men set up home here in the early 19th century. The lighthouse was built in 1895 by eminent engineer Sir Thomas Matthews and would guide sailors for nearly a century. Let's climb to the top.
Adam, this is pretty steep. How many floors are there? There's 5 floors and 145 steps.
Decommissioned in 1985, the Spurn Point Lighthouse now serves as a monument to Victorian lighthouse architecture.
Wow, look at this view. You've got almost a 360-degree view of the North Sea and the Humber estuary.
I've worked down here for over 13 years now. So I was here when the actual tidal surge came down in 2013 on the 5th of December, and the morning of the 6th of December just took 500 metres plus section of road off us. So took not just the road, but the telegraph poles and all the sand dune and everything, and that's when it became that tidal island.
The storm left a 150-metre gap in the spit and created one of Britain's newest islands.
How long has it taken to recover from that? We're 10 years on nearly now, and we're still recovering. It's constantly moving from the east to the west, so we've actually gained 75 metres worth of land in that one section on the Humber side. So it's a show of how dynamic this site actually is, because it rose on the east, but it deposits on the west. What we're seeing is a lot of change happening in terms of storms coming down. They're getting a little bit more frequent down here, but we haven't got a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But what we are seeing due to sea level rises and change in the weather systems and things is storms getting more and more frequent down here. But to create a tidal surge, you've got to have the right ingredients for that. So we don't know when the next tidal surge will be, but we're more or less guaranteeing that it won't be another 60 years.
Despite the unknown future, Adam and his team helped preserve this sandy peninsula and have even charted new life growing in the dunes, which creates strength and stability, and hopefully ensuring this coastal protective barrier remains for years to come. Time now for Tishy to head inland and catch up with Tash in Pontefract. Renowned for the licorice Pontefract cake, licorice is thought to have been brought here by medieval knights returning from the Crusades.
God, it's absolutely pouring!
It's only rain, not molten lava. The Magistrates' Market was built in 1807 and was home to the town's courthouse, but is now a buzzing marketplace for local dealers. They're nutty.
Oh, hey.
She's so friendly. Natasha has 945 smackers in her wallet.
Some nice finger plates. Anything that adorns a door. I love a nice knocker. Do you know what?
Go on.
Of the three sets bunched together, this one is actually my favourite design because it just screams aesthetic movement. So very much the reign of Queen Victoria. Unfortunately, £130 is just a bit too rich. They'd probably make a nice set of 6 like this if they're all clean. What, 50, 60, £80 with a bit of competition? But 130 is very much a retail price.
Okay, keep looking, Tash.
Now, I've spotted something out of the corner of my eye, which is an iffy staple. Look at this box. It's got this really nice leatherette finish, almost Art Nouveau in style. And we open it up, and look at that fuchsia pink colour and these mini little buttons that you can see. It says decorative old antique box, as seen, the dreaded as seen, but the price isn't dreaded, it's £8. The as seen probably refers to the fact it's missing a key plate, but it looks good. It's a really nice looking thing. Still got a life. You can use it as a prop box or display box. And for £8, I mean, I think this could make a profit at auctions. So this is coming home with me today.
Our jeweler does another jewellery box. She has £867 left. Now, what could he possibly be drawn to next?
These aren't the sexiest examples in the world. They're not going to set the world on fire, but they are intact jewellery boxes. Look, you've got a beautiful lining on the inside, double stacking, so you can store all your goods safely away. Let's have a look. This one's a bit larger, but I think it's the same, yes. A double stacker, so you can keep everything safe away. This has got a beautiful green interior and even a space to your pocket watch here. I'm thinking, if I group these together as a lot, maybe a jewellery collector will go for them. This one's got a ticket price of £15, and this one has got a ticket on it of £20. There's a potential profit in there. I love them.
I can tell.
Tash, where are you? Okay, I think your tag's giving you away. But that is quite
Remarkably
I
similar,
know, I
right?
could have fallen for that.
What do you think?
You fit right in.
It would be churlish if you didn't try one on, I think. Oh, that is just, dare I say it, made for you. Made for you.
Not so sure.
All right,
Take
this
home,
is the
right?
buy of the day,
It
guys.
is the buy of the
Let's
day.
get to the till. Come on, let's go.
I actually might buy this. Don't you think it looks good?
Very natty.
So I cannot walk past a section of books because if you find an interesting book, generally you want it to be over 100 years old and it has its dust jacket. Hey presto, you may well be looking at a little lottery ticket.
Top tip.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. If you look at the spine and it's by, I don't know, someone of great, Oscar Wilde or the like, and it happens to be maybe not even a first edition, but a second impression, something like that. Money to be made. Right, what do we have? Well, okay. Anne's an idiot. Yeah. Okay, I think the antique gods are trying to tell me something. Just change the name and you get the idea.
She's funny.
This has to be the best looking thing I've seen today, and I'm not talking about my reflection.
Easy.
This is a gorgeous early 20th century hand mirror, but it also has a little hook on the back, so it could be more mounted, which I think it deserves to be because it is a work of art. And I can't get over this thick beveled glass that does appear to be original to the piece. How has it survived for 100 years in such good condition? This was probably part of a very fancy set. I wonder who owned this. It's got a ticket price of £25, which I think is a great deal. I love this. I think this might be my last buy of the day.
Together with a lot of free jewellery boxes, we have a total price of £68. Stand by, Rachel.
Hi Rachel, how's it going?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to see you, Ichi.
Nice to see you too. I found a few things in your wonderful shop and it's
Good.
time to see if we can do a deal.
Did he just wink?
So I think the total comes to 68, so what's the best they can be all together?
How about £60?
And that's your rock bottom.
It is really, I'm afraid, yeah.
If you're happy with 60.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
I'll
very
shake your
much.
hand.
Thank you. I hope you do well.
Thank you. Now time for the cash.
Thank you, Rachel. That breaks down to £35 for the three antique jewellery boxes and £25 for the French Art Nouveau hand mirror. With nothing tickling Tash's fancy, the shopping is now complete.
After you.
There's no need. There's no need. I'll drive. Thank you so much.
Just drive off without me.
I know. Okay, well, we're option round. Let's go find some shelter. You know, I have to say, I dig your trainers.
Whoa.
That's your equivalent of a big diamond necklace.
Yeah.
Your neon green trainers. Probably a lot cheaper.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why have diamonds when you can have neon laces?
Let's get some shut-eye, eh? With a frenzy of excitement, we're limbering up for auction firm.
Do you reckon it's going to be busy?
Oh, I hope so. Although sunshine, is everyone in their gardens?
Hopefully they're inside.
No, they are. And they love your stuff.
Super confident. Our pair, after whizzing round the East Riding of Yorkshire, have returned south to the East Midlands town of Market Harborough for the third in a best-of-5 auction contest. At Gilbert. For sale in the room, on the phone, and on the net. The lady wielding the gavel is Denise Elizabeth Cowling.
Fair warning at 9.
Natasha bought 5 items for the sum of £125. Any faves?
The couture 1920s flapper dress. Beaded, black and white, net skirt. Nice little dress, really. And this is the good bit. Most of us will be able to fit into it. Know the Bicester evening, I do.
She collected 5 lots for £160. Thoughts, please, Denise.
A pair of late 19th century, obviously French shutter dogs. Quirky. I haven't sold any before, so maybe some interest in them.
Ready?
Let's get comfy.
Right. Our auctioneer looks in fine photo.
She does. First up, Natasha's late 19th century cream jug.
For me, if I'm going to have any jug in the world, I want its handle to be modeled as a ram.
Nice.
Next starts at 12. I shall go 15, 18, 20.
Oh,
Maybe
good.
to be at 20.
Don't miss it. It's
Fair warning now at £20 absentee bidder.
Profit.
A profit's a profit.
Just a splash, but it all adds up.
Did you see the rams?
I would have loved that.
Oh,
I would have gold plated it.
Can we make some more with Ishi's early 20th century doggy Inkwell?
Should we put it in there? Yeah.
Should we put it winner?
We win. Oh, stop. That was so nice.
Little bit's coming up now at 22.
Oh, we need
And
more.
25. What's my bid now at 25? Next time do I see 8? 28 on net, but I'm
It's Kane.
30.
It's still a Kane.
Absentee bid at 30. Next on net 32. Internet bid at 32. Selling shovels up, fair warning, at 32.
Cheap. I think dog's fine. Yes, that was rough.
Cheap, cheap, cheap.
That's what we should have called the puppy.
Back to Natasha and the swishy, sparkly flapper dress.
it says they call it couture. No labels, so it's been made for. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, it is couture. When was the last time you bought couture before? You know what I mean?
Yes, let's come straight in at £28 at the moment, at 28, 30, 35, 38, 40, 45, 48.
Oh, good, good.
Condition 65, 70.
Good.
70 bid now at £70. Don't lose it for a bid, internet. 75, there we
It
go.
deserves to make
One more
money.
bid if you wish. 80, there we go again. 85. 85 now, 85.
I might just take it back.
£85.
Oh,
Unreal.
no.
Well done.
Perfect for cocktails at the Ritz. Good result, Tash.
If I turned up to dinner in something like that,
I
what'd you
think
say?
I've woken up in the wrong century.
Onwards with the prayer mat.
This is damaged, shall
Now
we
you
say.
come on to lot 194.
That's one way of putting it, is she?
20 start me. We'll take it to 10 then, looking for 10.
No.
I know it could be a very valuable rug. I know it's not all there, but surely for academic reasons.
Yes.
You could
Yes.
put £10 for it. No bids, I'm afraid. We'll have to pass this one.
Oh.
Oh, just as we say, they always, someone bids always on the gavel, don't they?
We love you. We love you.
At £10, room bid at £10 now.
Hey.
Blimey, that was close, is she? A bargain for the last minute bidder.
You bought 2/3 of a rug and it made half of what you paid for it, okay? There's the maths.
Oh, gosh.
It's the Scottish Arts and Crafts brass potpourri from Natasha next.
But it's so Scottish. I feel as though I should have taken it home.
Indexing at 12, absentee bidder going 15 now.
Oh, keep going.
18, 20, 22, 25, 28, 30.
Keep going.
At £30, still with me at 30. Internet 32, you're in. At
Good.
£32.
Well done.
It is joyous.
£32 is £32. I shall sell at 32.
Tiny wee coffin.
What can I say? It all helps.
It's so frustrating that it wasn't marked because that was by someone. It
Oh,
was by someone, you know. Everything's by someone.
Sage words, Tash. Time for Ishi's French Art Nouveau hand mirror.
I mean, look at it. This I would have loved to have gilded.
Oh, look at that.
Not 12, I bid now at 12. Pretty little mirror, this 15.
can't be right.
Now at 15. At £15, I shall sell now at 15.
A cruel twist.
Not quite the fairest of them all, is she?
On reflection,
20, shall we say 20?
should have given it a polish.
15.
On to the George III mahogany tea caddy.
If you were reading this caddy's tea leaves, you'd say, oh, we're going to have a tough life.
Internet's in at £30 now at 30. Fresh
Oh,
bidder
nice.
at 30. 32. Fresh bidder in the room at
Fresh
32.
bidder.
Take the room at 32.
I'm pleased for two reasons. One, profit, and two, they're in the room so they've seen it.
Let's just concentrate on the profit, shall we? Onwards with Ishi's collection of antique jewellery boxes.
10 if you wish. 10 surely. 3 boxes as £10 bid. 12 bid now. At £12.15. No way. 18 bid.
Oh, here we go. It just needed a wee soft start.
20 bid. Do I see 2? And I do. £22 all done. Fair warning. Ah, on the gavel, I caught you. My eyes were still there.
Go, go, go.
28 at 28.30. Come on, bid up. 32.
It's
At
slowly.
£32. Give me fair warning now. At £32, you're sure.
Just a titch of a loss, is she?
Not a disaster.
Now it's the turn of Tash with the Bristol Blue Oil and Vinegar Cruet set.
It's all about the condiments.
Next in at £48.
That's all
48 bid now at 48. Looking through now, 48.55 on the net now. 55,
Oh, the net likes it.
65, 75, 85.
These are people who like to dip a bit of bread.
Jumping ahead now at 110. Net bid at 110.
Okay.
At 110 and the gavel's up. Fair warning.
Brilliant.
110.
I'll take that.
Well done. Well done.
What a spectacular result. Amazing, Natasha.
It's not my style at all. So that's not what I made profit.
It's the final lot. Denise's fave pick, Ishi's late 19th century French shutter dogs.
They've got a really nice age to them.
We all do love having shutters, don't
Can you
we?
imagine in your garden?
Oh, in your chateau.
French countryside.
Yeah, oh.
And internet's in at 12. I'm going to take them to 15 at the moment.
Oh, go on.
Bids me at 15. I'm looking around the room. I'm looking at net. 18, 20.
This could be a wee climber.
You're out of net. 22, 25.
profit. No, break even.
528.
Profit.
We take out 28, 30, 32.
Nice.
They've opened the window up to profit.
£32.
I don't think I'd ever be so excited for a £7 profit.
A profit at last, is she? Wonderful.
42 lost.
How's my hair?
Your hair is still fantastic. I think we should think less about your hair and more about the results. What do you reckon? Let's go figure it out.
Back to the more.
Let's tot up the numbers. Despite some nice buys, after all sale room costs, Ishi has made a loss of £60 and 78 pennies. While Natasha, also after costs, made a profit of £103 and 78 pence. Making Natasha triumphant for auction number 3. But there are still 2 more to go.
Oh, Tasha, I'm really going to have to step up my buying game.
Well, that felt more like it for me, but hey, listen, Ishi, I can relate. I can relate.
Next on the trip with Ishi and Natasha,
La 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 la.
it's packed with musicality.
But I think everything's gonna be okay.
Ishi revs it up.
What do you reckon? We're trading the Volvo for this.
Natasha finds a great big jug.
That is huge.
End your day in the best possible way with some good telly on BBC One. Our new series of Shetland comes to a close here tonight at 9. Doesn't mean you can't enjoy some drama this afternoon too. Press red to check out the action in Boat Story on iPlayer.
Somebody told them what we were doing here. Find out who.
Vigil starts Sunday at 9 on BBC One and iPlayer.
If all you want for Christmas is great Christmas music, then BBC Sounds is the place to go for party vibes or cozy times. If you're never leaving the house or on the road again, embracing the chaos or enjoying the peace, we've got Christmas sounds for that. Search Christmas music, listen only on BBC Sounds. History is being made in Pointless in just 45 minutes, so make sure you're here after today's artists share their skills in hopes to make it in market.
We're a nation of talented makers.
I'm literally painting with the flame.
And I know how life-changing turning our making into money can be.
10 years ago, I quit my full-time job and started my own set design business.
Now, in these inspiring artistic gardens, I've assembled a team of successful professional craftspeople.
I know your talent and I know what you're capable of doing.
To help talented amateurs turn their hobbies and skills into full-time jobs.
I want to put something to you, and I think I want you to try this.
There we go. With straight-talking advice.
There's areas like the finish that you could improve.
And plenty of hard work.
Let's do it. Let's get it done.
They'll make serious money.
I've made £4,150.
Oh my God!
I've made £6,300.
Can we change places?
Yeah. And create dream businesses.
It's like I'm talking about somebody else. It's been like a dream.
Today's first maker, hoping to earn a living from their crafting passion, is leather designer Joe from Essex.
Being over 50, it's really important that I make this work because time is ticking away. I see this as my career, but I want other people to see it as my career as well, and not just me and the cats and the dog and my husband.
Joe, welcome. Clearly you've got a passion for leather.
I have, yeah.
What got you into that?
I've tried different things in the past, and I'm dyslexic, so it's always been quite difficult. You know, I've done graphic design. I drew maps at one point.
Maps?
Yeah.
For a job?
Yeah, I've done web design. I also was an artist for a short period of time. When my daughter was looking for a course because she'd finished her GCSEs, I went with her and looked around to see if I could find something that inspired me. And I decided to do shoemaking. And it all clicked together.
Is it working so far? Are things selling?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like it to do a lot better. I feel guilty that I've tried different things and it hasn't worked out for me. As much as you try, it's really hard, you know, and you don't want to feel guilty. And my husband's really supportive, but at the end of the day, I still feel guilty. I'm not aiming for the moon, you know, I just want it to
Support your
work.
family and just
Yeah.
be successful.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
To establish how best to help Jo turn her love of leather into the career she's always craved but never quite found, I'm setting her 3 challenges. The first of which is to make a volume piece. A volume piece is often the bread and butter of a maker's business. It's something that can be made quickly, sold for an affordable price, and generate a consistent income. Jo has chosen to create a banana split necklace in a pop art style with chocolate sprinkle details and a chain. Using a paper template, she starts by cutting out the black background her design will sit on.
This is lamb's leather, so it's quite stretchy. I like it because it's thin, but you just have to hold it down as you cut and make sure I try and cut as close to the edge as possible so that when I'm trying to fit pieces together, it just makes life so much easier. Just have to take a bit of time on corners and make sure that when I'm cutting into the corner, I don't cut too far because I don't want to slit. If I pull it, you'll get little frayed edges. The more precise I can be in the early stages, just the easier it is for me.
With the background cut out, Jo tapes down her template onto yellow leather and punches out holes where the chocolate sprinkles will sit.
I take a small punch, because it's a small hole I want to make, position it in the right place, and hammer it.
To help Jo build the long-term leatherworking business she's hoping for, she's going to be guided by professional leatherworker Andy Bates. With almost 40 years' experience, Andy creates incredible bespoke, hand-stitched leather goods for his clients, as well as pieces for museums, TV, film, and the theatre.
Jo's got such personality in her work, and she brings this colour through in these designs, but she's very niche. She perhaps needs to think about more marketable products. We can also work on her marketing skills. There's a lot we can do there to help her. Jo,
Hi.
that's a really powerful style, and the use of colours really distinctive. Is there anything holding you back in your work?
I think it's mainly the writing. You know, often as a maker, you have to write copy for things that you've made and application forms and stuff like that. And being dyslexic, I find that quite difficult at times, you know. When I was studying, I found that if I put my headphones on and listened to 2 tracks of sitar music, it seemed to free up the words. It was very peculiar, but it did work for me.
If it works, that's great. So is that something you might think about introducing when you're writing proposals or submissions to galleries and stuff?
It's not something I've thought about, but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Applying a tried and trusted strategy to help her contact galleries about her work is a great idea that will help Jo to promote and sell her pieces. The next talented maker I'm on my way to meet is former nurse and artist Jill from Berkshire.
When I was growing up, we didn't have any money. Art for me was a massive thing, and I was told to get a proper job. I don't regret my life because I wouldn't have my kids, I wouldn't have my wife, I wouldn't have done nursing, but I stopped hoping it would happen, and now here I am. This is a dream come true.
Jill, it's lovely to meet you. You're clearly so talented. Have you been doing this for a long time?
I haven't. When I was a little girl, the only thing I wanted to be when I grew up was an artist, and it didn't happen. I lost my mum when I was 17, and before that she was really unwell, so I had to work. I've been in healthcare for 22 years. During lockdown, a few friends decided that we would do some creative stuff online. We would have a Zoom class. As soon as I started painting, it was like falling in love. It's like that moment when you know this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I left my job in the NHS in February.
This year?
This year.
Really?
I wanted to see if I could make this work.
Where are you at now with the business then?
If I don't paint, if I don't work, I don't get paid. And some months would be great, and then other months there's nothing coming in. I'll do whatever I need to do to make it work because I don't want this to fail. It's not an option.
Like Jo, I've challenged Jill to produce a piece she can create quickly and sell lots of. She's decided to paint a portrait of her pet chicken, Ruby, using acrylic paints and pens on a 40cm pre-painted canvas. She starts by sketching out Ruby with a pastel pencil using a photograph for reference.
I have been out taking hundreds of pictures of my chickens to try to get the right expression. I have picked Ruby. I like the bright eyes and the fact that she's looking very inquisitive at me. I'm just making very light marks. I don't want to commit myself to anything just yet. Trying to get the angle of the eyes as well. You wouldn't want to have them straight on because they wouldn't be right because the head is tilted. Once I've got the angle of the eyes in, I then know how much to tilt her head as well.
As Jill tries to fulfill her dream of earning a living from her art, she's going to be guided by professional artist Sharon Walters. Known internationally for her incredible hand-assembled collages, Sharon has also worked with Sotheby's Institute of Art, the Tate, and the National Portrait Gallery here in the UK. As chickens aren't everyone's cup of tea, Sharon wants to talk to Jill about who she's selling her picture to.
This is looking interesting. So chickens. Yeah. Tell me about your love of chickens.
I don't know. I just love chickens.
I'm not really clear on this market. Who buys your work?
Chicken people. I do the work because I'm a crazy chicken person, and then people who love chickens buy it. I live in the country, so there is a market for it there.
There may be customers for Jill's chickens in the countryside, but she's not keen about travelling to markets and fairs to find them.
I struggle going anywhere really with my work. Sometimes I'll do something and I sort of like hand it over to people. I'm just kind of like, oh, don't have it, don't look at it, please. Don't, it's yours, but just don't look at it too closely. But I think that's a confidence thing. I want to have that level of confidence that I could just, I'll just go to that market. I'll just bring my great.
But I think that takes time. You know, that takes time, and try not to be too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
But I think going to markets with your work would definitely help you with that.
There's a financial aspect as well. I mean, it does cost a lot of money to get yourself into these places.
There is a financial risk with going to market. However, in terms of meeting people who are more interested in your work all in one space, that investment can really pay off.
Both Jill and Joe have got plenty of work left to do on their volume pieces. But before they arrived here, I asked them to make a second item to find the most effective way of helping them build successful businesses. I asked them to make a high-end piece. This is something that takes longer to make, uses expensive materials, and carries a high price tag. For her high-end piece, Joe created a peony corset belt. Using white, pink, and metallic leather, it can be adjusted with ribbons at the sides and tied at the back. It's finished off with hearts on the ends of the ribbons. It takes around 2 days to make and comes at a price of £500. It's a top price, but I'm so impressed at the level of detail.
Joe's work is so intricate. Honestly, I love it. If I had my leather jacket here, I'd have had to put something on the back.
Yeah, she's so good at that.
Her peony belt. What are your thoughts on that?
It's stunning, frankly. It's art. It's like art.
It's a piece of art.
Yeah, it really, really is. That's going to be a really specialist market selling that line.
Yeah, especially if she's asking £500 for it, which I get because it must have taken a long time to make.
That maybe seems like a little bit too high for me. It's unique, isn't it? And I can see that possibly being a wedding piece. And if you're buying stuff for a wedding, that's going to be a one-off. Yeah. So perhaps people are going to pay £500.
For her high-end piece, Jill produced a commissioned family portrait triptych. In addition to taking hundreds of photographs and sketching and painting each piece, it included around 12 hours of consultation time and took several weeks to create. With an asking price of £1,500, does Sharon believe this is where Jill should focus her efforts to build up her business?
I really like it. I loved how they were sectioned off into different pieces, which I think is a really nice way of presenting a portrait.
It's quite creative.
Yeah, it is. It's really creative.
Are there any sort of pointers you think that actually that area could be improved?
I think she could try to work on her technique a little bit more, experiment more. She needs something unique about the work.
More personal to
more
to
personal,
her.
yeah.
Jill's asking price is £1,500 for that painting.
It's a lot of money, but it's still a fair price for what she's doing.
Okay.
My only concern is that with her consultation time of going back and forth and taking photographs, time is money. She has to remember that this is a business, so she can do that, but in far less time.
There's no doubting the quality of either maker's work, but whether it's streamlining their production or finding their market, Joe and Jill have work to do to turn their high-end pieces into reliable, money-making parts of their businesses. Whilst we've been considering their expensive items, they've been hard at work on their less pricey pieces. In the leather workshop near the apple orchard, Joe has cut out all of the pieces for her banana split necklace and has glued them in place so she can sew it all together.
I've got to stitch the leather using Gertie. This is my 1960s sewing machine, and she's got a wheel rather than a walking foot. Having a wheel means I can stitch really, really close to the edge of the leather. I've got my needle in place, and now I can just follow the edge all the way around. If you've got a very, very tight curve, you've got to do one stitch at a time, because basically you're stitching around something which is not angular. Done a couple of stitches, reverse stitch there. So I've gone all the way round, and then I've gone over where I've stitched before, so that will secure the stitches. And then I have to pull the threads through to the other side and then lighten them with the lighter. You've got to be really careful though, and pushing them down. So once they're melted, I can knock them down in place and they won't come off. But now that I've stitched this yellow piece, I need to go on to these gold areas. Quick way of changing the thread over is to snip it here, take this one off, put my new thread on. Instead of having to thread a whole sewing machine again, I can just tie a knot in these two threads here, take the thread out of the needle and just pull thread through. And so now I've got the next colour and I'm ready to go.
In the artist studio at the bottom of the gardens, Jill has finished sketching out her pet portrait of her chicken Ruby and is preparing to paint.
I'm going to start off with this lovely red because I think I'm going to have to layer that up quite a bit in order to get it to really show. I instinctively mix my colours, but that doesn't mean I get it right every time. It's the joy of working in acrylics is that you can go over it again. These background areas, I don't want them too heavy. I'm thinking, or I like to try and get some movement in it, which I generally do with sort of fainter lines just going in random directions and using the darker and the lighter tones to get the correct tonality so that it's believable. The more accurate I get, the happier I am to hand it over or sell it. I've got such guilt for like charging people for my work. It's something I need to get over. I still have that, do you know what, actually no, don't pay me anything. It's like I have to stop myself from like saying that to people.
Both Ruby and I are relieved to hear that Jill is resisting the urge to give her art away. And with the main design done, she's moving on to the finer details of the portrait.
I'm trying to pick out some places to highlight, thinking about where the sun or the light is coming from. I'm not trying to do it perfectly. I really like the freedom and the movement that you get with just sort of quite loose and fluid brush strokes. When I was a little girl, I would sit in a corner and draw. I can't remember not loving it. The thought of not being a successful business isn't the terrifying fact. It would be the thought of not painting again. That would be the killer. So for me, that's not an option.
In the leather workshop, Jo has stitched all of the pieces for her banana split necklace onto another piece of recycled leather with tabs on, so she can attach the chain.
I've got a couple of jump rings here. I just need some pliers. And usually use pliers with a silicone edge so you don't scratch the metalwork. Just open that up. Put that through. Close up again. Turn that round. I'm happy with the finished product. I think it's a very striking piece. Hopefully people will love it as much as I do.
With a make time of around an hour and 45 minutes and a sales price of £50, Jo's banana split necklace ticks all the boxes for a volume piece. But is it something that could help her find the forever career she's looking for? Joe, I think it looks really fun.
Thank
It's really,
you.
really good. What do you think, Andy?
I think it's a really nice piece. It's really powerful. It's really striking. Your design skills come out, and your technical skills are right there as well. Perhaps you could take the banana and apply it to more accessible product like notebook covers or bags.
Yeah.
You could expand your market greatly if you thought about doing
That's
that.
a really good idea.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Transferring that to more practical objects.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's more chance people will buy them because it's something beautiful, but also something practical.
Thank you.
Would it work as a patch?
It's
to
not
stitch
something
onto a
I've
jacket?
thought about. That's a good idea, actually.
What are your thoughts on the price point?
The price point's just about right. It reflects your skills, the time you put into it. I think it's a really good price.
Oh, thank you.
Joe's necklace is special, and by putting the design on different products, it could draw in the wider customer base she needs to build her business.
I had thought about putting my products onto other items, but I wasn't quite sure how to do it or what items people would buy, how it would sell. So lots of really good ideas.
In the artist studio, Jill's finished the brushwork on her pet portrait of her chicken Ruby and is working on the finer details with acrylic paint pens.
I like the mark making. I like the lines. It picks out little bits of highlights and hair or feathers. Also, I really like the movement it creates. Animals are not static, so I don't ever want to give the impression that that they're not moving around.
After touching up any bits she's missed, Jill will use a fixative spray to set the paint in place.
I feel quite nervous and excited about showing it to Sharon and Dom. I hope they like it. I want their feedback and I want the help. I just hope that they don't say, oh gosh, that's awful, stop doing it immediately.
Jill's pet portrait of Ruby the chicken takes her just over 3 hours to create, which I think is incredible. It's full of detail and real character, but with a price tag of £100, could paintings like these help her to build her art business after leaving her nursing career behind? Just looks like a cheerful, jolly painting. I really like it. Sharon, what do you think?
I think it's great. I think the scale is brilliant, the artwork itself, and you can see the enjoyment through the brushstrokes. There's a real liveliness, there's
Yeah.
personality in this as well.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on the £100 price tag?
I think the price tag is good. I mean, you can review your prices as you continue. So as you start to go to markets, as you explore different artists, all of those things will help.
Are there any pointers you can give Jill?
Go to exhibitions, other artists that are creating in similar ways but with a completely different style. I'm not telling you to copy those artists at all. but what I am telling you to do is just to look at the scale of the work, the techniques that they use. That will really help to push your work forward.
Jill's talent and sense of fun are clear to see. Pet portraits are a fantastic idea, and being able to do them so quickly means they could be a great volume piece. If she takes on board Sharon's advice about studying other artists' work, it will also help her develop her own unique style.
I was just so pleased with the reaction from Dom and Sharon. I didn't expect it to be quite so positive. It was just so lovely and such great advice as well.
Both Jill and Joe have created fun volume items with bags of potential. But now, like all the makers across the gardens working to make a living from their crafts, it's time for them to face one last challenge and make their favourite piece. I want to find out if the piece they enjoy making the most can also be a profitable part of their business. Joe's decided to create a bag featuring a unique animal face, combining a tiger and a cat. It has a crossbody strap and is made up of 12 different colours. Her first job is to cut out all the pieces that will make up the face on the bag so she can assemble them on the backing leather. Before we go any further though, I want to find out the reason behind the design.
It's based on my cat, my three-legged cat, Toby. It's a sort of cute version of a tiger, really.
Okay. How do you work all this out?
I designed the pattern,
Oh,
and
wow.
then from that, I used that as a guide.
All of these tiny little pieces
Yeah.
are not offcuts.
No, they're all
They're-
parts of it.
they're all bits of it.
That's the eyes, so that will go sort of there.
Okay. So where does this bit go?
That's off the nose, so it's
it's gonna go in there somewhere.
Yeah, so there's all these different pieces that I swap together.
Goodness me, a strong gust of wind and you'll be in trouble.
I know, I know.
I'll leave you to it. Joe's bag takes her over 11 hours to make. So to be able to show Andy and I a finished one, she's brought along a tiger cat face with the pieces of leather already glued in place and is sewing around each of them using matching colours to fix them to the backing leather.
because I would use orange thread for both those pieces of leather, I can just stitch right the way across the two pieces, and then I don't have to change threads. Just a lot easier. And then put a reverse stitch in. The reverse stitch is also an extra safety element to stop the thread from coming through and then having a hole on the outside. So I've cut the threads, and then I go to the back, cut them off on the back, use my lighter, try not to burn the leather, and then knock the threads down to secure it. Once this is all stitched round, this piece will be fixed to the front piece of the bag.
In the artist studio, Jill's working on her favourite piece. It's a character portrait, something she wants to make a bigger part of her business. And to show us her skills, she's decided to paint one of me. Using a photo taken at a friend's wedding, she'll be working with acrylic paints and pens on a 55 by 55 centimetre handmade canvas.
I've come to really love portraiture. It's about capturing the character of that person, trying to get that little twinkle in their eye. Dom is really funny, really warm, and he's exactly the type of person you could probably imagine yourself sitting in the pub having a pint.
She starts by making the canvas.
Get the frame in the middle. You need some room to be able to stretch. I have my canvas stretchers. So you grip the canvas, you don't want to do it too tight, you don't want to rip it. And you will get tighter later on. We want to get it secure all the way along. This time we'll start in the middle. And always going opposite to where you've been. It's quite firm, so it's tightening up.
After folding and securing the canvas in place around the corners, Jill paints it with 2 coats of black primer and then sets to work sketching out my face using a pastel pencil.
I just want to mark out roughly where I'm going to go. It needs to be something that I'm happy with, that I can start to place my paint down. We'll get some paint out. First thing I need to do is block off my areas of dark and light. Definitely light. I need to block those areas off because they take maybe 3 or 4 layers to actually cover the canvas. So I might put one down, let it dry, and then I need to go again to actually get rid of that black behind it.
Blocking out the light and shade, bringing in the base colours and working out the dimensions of the portrait subject takes Jill around an hour before she starts on the top layers and details. But I can resist no more. Jill, can I have a look?
Yeah, you can come and have a look.
You sure?
Yeah, it always looks so terrible, by the way, at the beginning.
Oh my Oh, look at that. This is a very surreal experience for me. I've never had my portrait painted.
Oh, brilliant. I'm really excited about it, and I feel really good about it.
It's looking slightly terrifying at the moment, I'm not going to lie.
A little bit creepy. It's all a bit rough and ragged at the minute, but then I'll tighten everything up sort of towards the
It's
end.
going to come together. It's so clever. I love it. Well, I think 3 dogs is too much for anybody, so I'll leave you to it. In the leather workshop, Jo has moved on to making the main body of the bag she'll be putting her handcrafted animal face onto. And mentor Andy is keen to chat to her about ways she can boost her business.
Have you thought about using vegetable tan leather, especially if you're going to move your products into more practical things like notebook covers and bags, because it gets that lovely patina when it's handled and it kind of improves with age?
I don't really know a lot about vegetable tan. Sounds like a good thing to do.
Tell me where you sell your products at the moment.
At the moment, I'm selling online or I'm selling at markets.
I think we could get your work into galleries. I think it would be entirely suitable for that, either galleries or gallery shops, because it is essentially art.
Pitching her work as leather art is a great idea, which could open Jo's pieces up to other potentially more successful avenues of selling. To finish her favourite piece, she needs to make the strap, and she starts by punching holes for the metal pins called rivets to attach the bag's clasp to the leather.
I've punched the holes through. I now can put the rivets in. This, it's slightly domed, so it will stop the rivet from being squished. I put that in there. Place my leather through, get the cap, push that on top. You hear a slight click. Then using this tool with the domed end, put that down there. Hammer it so that it's in place. I need to rivet the other side, add in the clasp, and then I can attach it to the bag and show it off to Dom and Andy.
Jo's bag, inspired by her pet cat Toby, takes her around 11.5 hours to create. I love the design and attention to detail, but will Andy think this is the sort of product that will help get Jo's leatherworking business off the ground?
It's an amazing piece on it. You've worked so hard on it. I've been here watching you. The application you've put into it, the dedication and the skill. You know, it's really impressive.
Thank you.
I think there's some things you can do with the actual form of the piece. It's essentially a flat thing, isn't it? It's a container. It needs to contain certain things. So we could look at increasing the space by perhaps adding a gusset. Maybe again, think about some vegetable tan leather for the body of the bag so it gets that suppleness.
By adding that gusset and making the bag more 3D, it will become so much more useful. Now, how much would you hope to get for a piece like this?
I was thinking about £200.
You're not far off with that £200. So it's just maybe take a little bit of refining. Good place to start.
Thank you.
Very good. Jo's real passion and love for leatherwork has been fantastic to see, and the fun and playful pieces she makes feel uniquely hers. As she heads home to Essex, Andy has drawn up an action plan to help her turn them into a successful business. First, she needs to widen her potential market by incorporating her designs into practical products, like notebooks and bags. Next, Andy wants Jo to improve the design of her tiger cat bag to make it more useful by adding a gusset. Finally, she needs to approach gallery shops with her work and sell them as the pieces of art they are.
I'm excited working with Andy because he's got so much knowledge. It just means the world, really. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be successful.
In the artist studio at the bottom of the gardens, Jill's now added a second layer of paint to her character portrait of me.
What I need to focus on now is getting those details in the right place. The eyes, teeth, making sure they're correct. I can use a smaller brush, get details in. I'm just changing the position of the eye. This one is a little bit too high. I'm just going to take it down and then bring this one up.
Jill's gift for portraiture is clear to see, but mentor Sharon is concerned about how she's promoting herself and her art.
I've had a look through your social media. How do you feel about what you post and how you share your work?
Again, that's another confidence thing with me. I don't want to annoy people. I'm sort of like, I always feel a bit like, oh, right, okay, I'll post and then I'll wait a couple of days and I might post again. And then I forget to post completely and I don't do anything for about a month. So I need to get a little bit more consistent.
I think it's important to be consistent but also intentional about what you're posting. But we can work on that together.
After adding the final finishing touches to the piece, Jill mounts the canvas in a handmade frame. The portrait takes her around 8.5 hours to make. It comes with a sales price of £350, and I'm keen to find out if Sharon thinks this kind of work could help Jill's lifelong dream of becoming a successful artist come true. But first, I have another question. Jill, why on earth have you chosen to make this for your favourite piece?
I really, really enjoyed doing it.
Did you?
Yeah,
I feel sorry for you having to stare at a picture of me. What do you think, Sharon?
I think it's a brilliant piece of work. She's really captured your joy and your personality in this piece. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
What do you think about the £350 price tag? Obviously, nowhere near enough.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think it is.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think it is. It's years and years of practice and it's your skills that people are paying for. So I think it's worth the £350, but probably even a little bit more.
Okay.
You could probably add another £100 to that.
You've got a busy time ahead.
Yeah.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Giving up nursing to follow her dream of becoming an artist was a risk, but Jill has wowed us in all three of my challenges. And as she heads back off to Berkshire, Sharon's given her an action plan to help turn her talent into a thriving art practice. First, she needs to go to galleries and exhibitions to study other artists' work to help her find her own distinctive style. Next, Sharon wants Jill to reduce the time she spends on consultations for commissions to free up time to produce other pieces. Finally, she needs to work on promoting and selling her pieces online and in person at the right craft fairs and markets.
This whole experience has really changed me. I feel quite proud to call myself an artist. I'm really excited about getting back to work. I need to get my head down, focus, and get on with it, really.
With the help of their mentors, both Jill and Joe now have 2 months to prove they have what it takes to get their businesses up and running. In Essex, Joe has got straight to work, improving her existing pieces, as well as incorporating her designs into more practical products.
This is like a rainbow ice cream. I could add this to like a crossover bag or to a patch. I've done the pattern and I've decided to make it in lots of really lovely bright colours.
She's also been doing her homework to help with her latest prototype.
I'm just getting everything together to start making a notebook. I've never done this before. I've done a bit of research online. I'm basically just going to have a go today and see how it turns out.
After punching holes through the paper and leather cover, she sews them together.
And that's the first row of stitches.
Jo has thrown herself into her action plan, but just as she was making progress, she's fallen ill.
Haven't really been able to do a lot for quite a few days. So I'm hoping I'm sort of coming out the other end of it now, that I'll be all guns amazing for next week.
In Berkshire, Jill's been working on reducing the time she's spending on consultations for her commissioned pieces.
I thought maybe we could use the kitchen table and have us represented by our favourite glasses with our favourite drinks.
So what I'll do is I will get you to take some photographs. Today would probably be a good day because it's still sunny.
Yeah.
And just get that light coming in.
She's also been busy building up her catalogue of work to promote on her social media.
I started painting this lady. She's a musician. She's enjoying the moment. I bought some spray paints and I'm going to be using a mix of chalk, acrylic paint, and then I'm going to finish it off with some oils as well.
Sharon was keen for Jill to get out and start selling her work, and she's found a country fair with the right target market for her animal art.
I need to try and get some of my high volume pieces in, so horses, chickens, dogs, that sort of thing, get some prints together. I want to show them what I can do. So hopefully they can then pick up a card, say, oh yeah, I'm going to get Jill to come and do a painting of my horse.
In Essex, Jo's feeling better and has been listening to music to help manage her dyslexia as she writes to art galleries about her work.
I've been listening to some music because it seems to engage one part of my brain. It lets me write, and I suppose I just find it easier. I can sort of switch off and the words come to me for some bizarre reason.
She's also used her new rainbow ice cream patch design to create a fun phone bag.
I actually think it works really well because it makes all the colours really pop out. And I love pink, particularly this pink. It's my signature colour.
Having designed new pieces, Jo's taken them to a large craft fair, and there's good news.
Had lots of really nice chats with people, talking about my work and how I make it and everything. Lots of positive comments. Had some sales as well. So yeah, it's been a really good day.
Despite falling ill, Jo has done everything Andy and I asked of her 2 months ago. She's made some terrific new products and made the bag she produced for her favourite piece more usable by adding a gusset. I can't wait to find out if she's managed to get her work into any gallery shops and how much money she's made. Jo, welcome back. How has it been?
It's been really good, yes. It's been really challenging time.
You've not been well, have you?
No, I haven't been well, and that's a bit of a shame because it sort of knocked me back a bit, really.
To celebrate what you have achieved, before we sent you back to your studio, we did give you some key pointers to try and help you to sort of build the business. One of those points would be to try and approach some galleries to try and stock your work. Have you had any joy there?
I have got my work into Northampton Museum and Art Gallery. And what's really nice is because Northampton is like the mecca in this country, I suppose, for leather work, And I wanted to approach them because I've got a collection of shoemaking and I started my leather journey with shoemaking. I'm going to work with them to produce something that's related to shoes, which is really nice.
Wow, so it's not just stocking your work, there's actually a relationship there.
Yes, yeah. So that's really
brilliant, isn't it?
It's so good, it really is. And what you haven't mentioned is a meeting with the buyer of the Tate Gallery in London. And Jo got herself in front of that buyer.
Wow.
And she's developing a relationship.
They've said to go back and show any work that I'm developing.
That's sometimes all you need. It's a start. It's like you've actually got that contact now and that relationship.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to witness how far Jo's come in such a short period of time. She's achieved so much, but has it all helped to drive sales? I'd like to talk about money now. How much have you made?
I've made £1,042.
Well done. Are you pleased?
I am pleased. It's been really good as well because a lot of the sales have been bags. People are really interested in those new products as well. So that's been really good.
That must be a really nice feeling, knowing that you've spent all this time developing these products to know that it's working. People are interested in buying them.
No, it is really good.
The work you put in, you've now got an amazing product range and you're just ready to burst out there into the world. You've done so well.
Jo will need to deduct her costs from her fantastic sales figures of over £1,000. But Andy's spot on about Jo's future. Having worked so hard at designing and selling new products, agreeing an amazing collaboration, and establishing fantastic gallery contacts, I think she's finally found her forever career.
I definitely think that leatherwork is for me. Through this journey, it just reinforces that this is what I want to do. It's also opened up some fantastic opportunities and my brain is now buzzing. I just need to get back to the studio and just make more stuff.
In Hampshire, Jill's stall at the country fair has proven rather successful.
I've had loads of engagement with people.
And you've got a real variety of subjects.
Yeah.
And potential commissions coming through. I've nearly run out of business cards. This is exactly what I want to be doing and exactly where I want to be.
Jill's also taken on board Sharon's advice about visiting galleries to study other artists' work. And whilst she was at one, she had some fantastic news.
Yesterday, I had a gallery visit with very lovely Claire in Newbury. She really loves my work, which is great. And I'm going to be going in for 12 weeks as their featured artist. It's just phenomenal. Like, I cannot get over it.
For the past 2 months, Jill has followed every word of Sharon's advice, painting, promoting and selling her work. Her determination to establish a successful art business has been fantastic to see, and I can't wait to find out more about what she's achieved and if all of her hard work has resulted in big sales. Jill, welcome back. Last time you were here, we did send you away with some key pointers. One of those was about your online presence, social media and marketing.
Yeah, Sharon showed me how to make reels properly on Instagram and things, and I've been doing a lot of that. I've been posting much more regularly, so at least once every couple of days. These two paintings here, as a result of them being on Instagram, I was invited to the Connected exhibition in Henley. It's really exclusive.
Amazing.
Massively excited, also slightly terrified as well. I need to,
the best place to be.
Yeah. I need to produce some really good work for that.
This sounds very positive.
Yeah, really positive. She's been really, really confident in the way that she's posting, and you're showing more of your process. So yeah, you're doing really well.
Now, another pointer was market research, getting out there, going to galleries, looking at work and actually comparing it to yours to sort of see how yours is unique or could be unique.
I've done probably about 10, maybe more, different exhibitions in galleries. About halfway through, I realised what I was getting from it, and that was looking at other artists, looking at their market research. It started to open my eyes, but it also started to narrow my vision.
Yeah.
From now on, I intend to paint from my heart and try and show myself in each one.
It's incredible to see the change in Jill's work and her newfound confidence. But after quitting her nursing career to pursue her dream of becoming a full-time artist, she needs to make money from her paintings. Do you mind if we talk about money?
No, that's fine.
How much have you made?
In the last 8 weeks, I've made £4,120.
Really?
I can't believe it. Like, genuinely, it's been great.
You've worked really hard and you've taken this opportunity and you've listened to the advice. You've been really open and willing to learn. That's why the last 8 weeks have been a success and why you will continue to be a success.
I hope so.
Like Sharon, I'm confident that even after deducting her costs from her amazing sales of over £4,000, Jill's dream of earning a living from her art is coming true.
I've progressed so much in the last couple of months, not just as an artist, but as a person. I feel valuable. I feel confident. My business is doing really well. The whole process has completely changed my life.
9 weeks after leaving the gardens for the final time, Jill's art business is thriving. She's got herself into 5 new exhibitions, has been invited to be a key speaker at a local business event, and has made a further £2,240. In Essex, Jo is continuing to throw all her efforts into making leatherwork her forever career. She's been busy organising stalls at markets for the next few months, as well as getting her pieces into a local shop and making £1,000 in new sales. She's also applied for a chance to do a pop-up shop in collaboration with a major high street store.
If you need a boost to do that big clean before you put your decks up, press red for Sort Your Life Out on iPlayer. Pointless is on the way next.
Knockout UTB.
No, I'm not gonna calm down. I've had enough. Watch me, because I can sting.
The eagle has landed. We see what we're dealing with. It's massive. All new for autumn. Press red to watch now on BBC iPlayer.
As of 36 minutes ago, we're no longer kids. We've got to make every minute count. What if this is our last summer together? When you decide what kind of man you want to be, the world locks you into it. You chase everything away. You don't do anything.
The whole life is about what you can't do.
Choose your company wisely.
Rhyme Kids. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
You can't run from the past forever. Our new series of Shetland comes to an end tonight here at 9. Now we're getting our heads down, as only the most pointless answers will do.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the lowest scorers are the biggest winners. Let's meet today's players. And couple number 1.
Hi, I'm Eddie. This is my girlfriend Cassie, and we are from Hackney in London.
Couple number 2.
I'm Sue. This is my beautiful daughter Alicia, and we're from Wigan.
Couple number 3.
Hi, I'm Alec. This is my delightful partner Olivia, and we're both from New Zealand.
And finally, couple number 4.
Hi, I'm Peter, and this is my firstborn, Rebecca, and we're from Bromley in Kent.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. A very warm welcome to Pointless. That's very exciting. It just needs one more person for me to introduce. Quicker off the mark than Linford Christie being chased by a wasp. It's my pointless friend. It's Richard.
Oh, yeah. Everybody. Hello there.
Hello.
One of my favourite shows on television is when they have the border control program from New Zealand. I love it. I love the accent. It's lovely. It's just people trying to bring in food they're not allowed to bring in. It's just an endless succession of someone going, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to bring in food. They said, you signed a declaration that said you weren't allowed to bring in food. I didn't know fresh was food. Exactly. Absolutely love it.
What a great tip. There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Lewis and Rosie won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off as it should, right back at £1,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Now remember, it will always be the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated, so you just have to keep your scores low, and everything will be great. Best of luck, everybody. Our first category today is pop music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second, and whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. So, the question concerns artists with the most played songs of the 2010s. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 16 faces in a minute, which all of whom have released one of the most played songs of the 2010s. Who are these people, please?
Oh, who indeed? Right, so we're going to put this image up, as Richard says. It'll stay up for the whole round. 16 faces. We won't be changing it halfway through. And let's reveal the faces of the most played songs.
This is the organisation PPL, who clip royalties for every time a song is played on radio or television or in public places.
There we are. Now, Cassie,
Hi.
you are most welcome back on Points. This is your second show. Remind us all about yourself.
I am a crowdfunding campaigns executive, and also I have recently qualified as a project worker for a mental health creative writing charity.
Very good indeed. So the qualification for that, was that something you were doing at the same time as the crowdfunding?
Yeah, so I don't work, it's just a few days a week. I will do these sessions for like an hour and a half with people, and it's to help them use creative writing skills to kind of create skills for them to work on their mental health.
That's brilliant. What a brilliant thing to be doing. Cassie, the board of the most heard people, most heard artists of the 2010s.
So the person I'm looking at, I actually think has two names. I'm going to say Gnarls Barkley or CeeLo Green.
Or CeeLo.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, we're chipping in from Eddie there. Chipping in. No, it's fine. Everyone wants to chip in. Everyone wants to chip in any time. Feel free. Okay, Gnarls Barkley or CeeLo Green. We're going to have to take one or the other.
I'll go CeeLo Green then.
CeeLo Green. Let's see how many of our 100 people said CeeLo Green. It's right. CeeLo Green is very much up there. And down we go to 20. What a great start to the round, and indeed the show, Cassie. Thank you.
Yeah, very well done. I wouldn't have taken Gnarls Barkley because that's the band. That's CeeLo Green and Danger Mouse, the producer. Yeah. So it's not his stage name. CeeLo Green, very much his name.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Alicia, welcome. How lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a freelance digital artist at the moment.
Ah, that's fun. So what sort of things do you do?
I do a lot of like Victorian and like Georgian portraiture, so cameos and fashion plates, that sort of thing.
Wow. Oh, that's huge fun. So yeah, but so Victorian was sort of early photography.
Yeah.
And sort of, and then but Georgian obviously engraving. Is that right? Or
Yeah, so it's it's a lot of looking at some of them sometimes for references. You're looking at photos, and for some it's drawings
and trying to sort of replicate that style.
Yeah.
I think. That's great fun. Alicia, what are you going to go for? Who are you going to go for?
Well, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble if this is wrong because this is my best friend's favourite singer, but I think that is Carly Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen. You're getting a nod from Chip In Eddie. Let's see how many of our 100. He's building his part quite a lot here, Eddie, isn't he? I mean, it's extraordinary.
You have to say, for a man who scored 100 on the last show, he's very, very cocky.
Yeah. Carly Rae Jepsen. Let's see how many of our 100 people spotted Carly Rae Jepsen. Carly Rae Jepsen is right. Well, 20 is the only score we have at the moment. And you saw past that down 6. Very well done indeed. Alicia, your friend, can pat you on the back.
Yeah, Call Me Maybe, the 21st most played song of that decade. I forgot to say that Forget You by CeeLo Green was the 9th most played song of the decade.
It's a great song. Thank you very much indeed. Alec, welcome. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I work in an environmental charity which combats environmental crime. So I do things like monitoring the illegal timber trade and illegal logging.
Where do you do that from?
From London, yeah. But we're looking often at illegal logging that's happening in places like in Southeast Asia, and then when it's being shipped to other parts of the world to try and track the illegal trade.
Oh, when they try and smuggle it into New Zealand through the airport.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, is that teak?
Yeah. That was the other question I was going to ask. Did you pack this bag yourself? Anyway, yes, Alec, great to have you here. Who are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for someone who I think was great in the Cats movie, Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. Let's see if that is right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jason Derulo. That goes down to 14. Very well done indeed. Jason Derulo.
Very well played. There's some lovely scoring going on here. Yeah, Want to Want Me was the 13th most played song of the decade. I think it passed me by.
And me too. Yeah, thank you very much indeed. Okay, Rebecca.
Hello.
Welcome back for your third and final time.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Remind us all about yourself.
So I've just finished my classics degree actually, so I've got a lot more free time at the moment to kind of play games and read, and I've got a little part-time job as well as a social media writer.
Very good indeed. Rebecca. So who are these music artists? Who are you going to go for?
I think I'm going to take a bit of a risk and say Ella Henderson.
Ella Henderson. Ella Henderson. Some great answers here. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ella Henderson. Ella Henderson is right. Well, 20 is still our high score. 6 is our low. You passed the high score. You passed the low. Look at that. Ella Henderson scoring 4. That's great.
Very well played. Yeah, 36th on the list with Ghost. We're really clearing up some of the lower scoring answers here. It's very, very impressive stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Well, halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 4, the best score of the past, Rebecca. Very well done indeed. Then up to 6, where we find Alicia and Sue. Then up to 14, where we find Alec and Olivia. Then up to 20, where we find Cassie and Eddie. Eddie, you know what I'm going to say to you. Do the thing that I was going to say. Lovely low score. We'll see you in round 2. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second verse please step up to the podium? Peter, welcome back. Lovely to have you with us for your third time. Remind us all about yourself.
I'm a father of 3, originally from Mauritius, and I'm a former Dragon Boat World Champion.
Oh, you kept that quiet till now. When have you got into the final last time and you haven't told us?
Oh, I would have at that point.
Where did you do this? Where did it take place? The world?
Across the world. I mean, we raced in Hungary, in Canada, in the UK, and then in Tampa, Florida as well.
Where did you win the world championship?
In Hungary.
But it even came up as a question.
That's right.
And you didn't say you were the world champion. I don't think if something I was a world champion and came up as a question, I would say, I think.
It would literally be the first thing. I'd have said that before I said when I was introducing. I'd say, hello, I'm Alexander, I'm world champion Dragon Boat, and this is my friend Richard, former world champion.
But you'll always be world champion. They can't ever take it away from you.
Yeah, at that event, yes. Very good. Peter, good. In fact, on both scores. Good. 4 is your score at the moment. Who are you going to go for?
Right. I do actually know all of those. So I'm going to plump for Rag and Bone Man.
Rag and Bone Man, says Peter. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Rag and Bone Man. You get a red line as well. Here it comes. Rag and Bone Man is right. 28 takes your total up to 32.
It's another good score as well. You're the 39th best or most listened to song of that decade, Human. That's a lovely song.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Olivia, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
So I work as an HR manager at the moment, and when I'm not working, I'm a spoken word poet. So when we are allowed to, I am usually performing. Yeah.
Speak the word. Are these the words of Olivia you speak, or are they?
Yes.
Very good indeed. How long have you been writing and performing poetry?
Oh, about 6 or 7 years now. Yeah.
Very good. Do your poems have a comic angle, or are they?
Sometimes. Sometimes political, sometimes funny. Yeah.
Very good. Good for you. We'll discuss this across your 3-show career. 14 is your score at the moment. 17 or less gets you into the next round. Who are you going to go for?
I am going to try Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson, says Olivia. Here is your red line. Let's see if we can get you below this with Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson's right. Gets you through. Look at that, Olivia. Down goes Kelly Clarkson to 8, taking your total up to 22.
Yes, Stronger by Kelly Clarkson from 2012. I do know that song.
Yes, I know that song. Now, then, welcome, Sue. Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Hi, I'm Sue. I'm a civil servant from Wigan. Don't hold that against me.
The civil servant bit or the Wigan bit? I wouldn't hold either of those against you, Sue.
And I'm a big reader. I love reading and things like that. Yeah, I've got the cutest cat in the world.
What sort of cat is it?
A large cat.
A big cat. A big cat. That's the answer I wanted. Yeah, big cat. Good. And on the cuteness scale, 1 to 100?
Oh, in the thousands, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's
Right.
20 now as well. So he's doing well to keep his looks.
He really is doing well.
Oh, he's very beautiful.
Oh, very beautiful indeed. Okay, now, Sue, there you are on 6. If you can score 25 or less, you're into round 2. 16 artists there of the most played songs in the 2010s. Who are they?
I will go for Emily Sandé.
Emily Sandé. Emily Sandé. Here is your red line, Sue. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Emily Sandé. Emily Sandé is right. Get you through. Look at that, down to 22 with Emily Sandé, taking your total up to 28.
I mean, this scoring is great across the board. I have to say, 37th on the list with Next to Me.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Eddie, welcome. Good to have you here again. Remind us all about yourself.
Yeah, sure. I work in communications for a charity now, but I used to be a journalist, and when I did my dissertation, I trained as a pro wrestler.
Professional wrestler? Did you get so far as having a name?
Well, the crowd were aware that I was a journalist doing this documentary. I'd been filming for like over a month, so they just said, this guy giving it a try, and that kind of worked better, I think, than having an actual name. People gave me some sympathy as a guy who'd never wrestled before.
Whoa, how did it go?
Surprisingly well. I was really nervous. I was actually sick before the match, but no one saw that. But
Better being sick during it. I mean, that'd be
exactly.
terrible. Whoa, someone's spinning you around.
The match went well enough that I actually got asked to do another event afterwards, and then we moved. So, but yeah, it went quite well.
Have you got any evidence of this? Has it been filmed?
Yeah. The documentary's on YouTube, and I'm going to upload the full match at some point. But it was with WAW, the guys who did the movie Fighting With My Family.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Good for you, Eddie. That sounds hilarious. You need to score 11, by the way, with this, your answer. Do you want to talk us through the board?
Yeah, sure. It's a weird one because I would have thought Jason Derulo would be well known because he's had hits for years, but he only had 14. I didn't think Rag and Bone Man would be that well known, so it's tough to know who's not been answered a lot.
Rag and Bone Man literally twice as well known.
Yeah,
exactly. So Jason Derulo.
So there's Bruno Mars, Pharrell Williams, Ed Sheeran, Adele, Jessie J, Katy Perry, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga, and Rihanna. So I know them all, but I don't know who's the least well known.
You know them at speed. That was amazing.
I like music. But I'm going to go with Pharrell because he's normally a producer or he features more than he does starring things. So Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Pharrell Williams. Here is your red line, quite low. Pharrell Williams is right. 17 for Pharrell Williams takes your total up to 37. Not a bad score.
And he had the most played song of the decade with Happy, and his fourth on this would Get Lucky as well with Daft Punk. Now, I think this might be a pointless first. So I want to commend all of you. Congratulations. 16 names on the board. There's 8 of you, and you came up with the best 8 answers on the board. Never seen it before, ever. So they're literally the best 8 answers. Couldn't have played around any better. Congratulations to everyone.
I've got goosebumps. I've actually genuinely got goosebumps. Just want to say that.
But how about that? And how unfortunate to get knocked out in that round as well. I mean, you've been knocked... Poor old Cassie.
Yeah.
Knocked out twice now. Once after getting a pointless answer, and once after being in the greatest round in pointless history.
I know.
If you get knocked out in the first round next time, I don't know what's going to happen.
Our relationship's on the thread.
This one I don't think you can blame Eddie for. Last time you definitely can. This one he did. That's the best answer left to him. Let's go through the 8 biggest scorers, all of which remain untouched. Bruno Mars, and Eddie's been through all of these as well. So he would have scored 50. Adele would have scored 76. Ed Sheeran just beats Adele, 78 for Ed Sheeran. Jessie J would have scored you 38. Katy Perry, 64. Justin Timberlake, 40. Lady Gaga, 54. And Rihanna, 62. Isn't that amazing? 8 out of 8.
Amazing.
Very impressive. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Well, that brings us to the end of this amazing round, our first round. It means we have to say goodbye to our first pair. Oh, Eddie and Cassie, I'm sorry. I think in the general scheme of things, I'm sure Pointless owes you one. You know, the next time we see you, which will in fact be your third attempt, I hope we can serve that up. Anyway, if there's any justice, thank you very much for playing Eddie and Cassie. But for the remaining 3 pairs, now time for round 2. Well done, everybody. You've gone into pointless history. That's amazing. Rebecca, you were our lowest scorer in that historic low-scoring round individually. And Olivia and Alec, you were our lowest combined scorers. So well done. It's great to have you here in round 2. Best of luck to everybody. Our category for round 2 this afternoon is people, places, things. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second, and whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Okay, and the question concerns things with a double U as opposed to a W.
Absolutely. There's going to be 6 clues on each board. Every single answer begins with a U and has another U somewhere else in its name. So it begins with a U, has another U somewhere else. 6 on the first board, 6 on the second, 12 in all to have a go at home. Good luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So let's reveal our first board of 6 clues. We've got term for the 2 dots used over the letters A, O, and U in German to indicate a change in the vowel sound. Frank Gardner's second novel featuring MI6 officer Luke Carlton. Theatre performer who learns a main role to serve as a replacement in case of emergency. British actress who played Mrs. Hudson in the 2010 BBC drama Sherlock. The books following the mishaps suffered by the Baudelaire children, as told by Lemony Snicket, are called a series of these. And the 1979 UK top 10 hit for Squeeze, whose title is the final 3 words of the lyrics. There we go. Alicia. How do we like our board?
I know a couple of them. It's more just working out what's going to be low scoring. But I think I'm going to go for the one I'm most sure of, which is a theatre performer who learns a main role, which is the understudy.
Understudy, says Alicia. Let's see how many of our 100 said understudy. $55 for understudy.
Yeah, but many understudies go on to be famous, but Stan Laurel was famously Charlie Chaplin's understudy in a theatre troupe. And Anthony Hopkins was Laurence Olivier's understudy at the National, stepped in to replace him.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice, isn't it?
Nice to know. Alec.
I only knew 2 on the board, and one's been taken, so I'll go with the one I still know, which is the Lemony Snicket books, a series of unfortunate events.
Okay, a series of unfortunate events for the Lemony Snicket. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. $24 for a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, nicely played. There's a film, of course, about them with Jim Carrey starring. They also did the TV series with Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, who's the you
Whoever
look
says I
alike.
look like. And I do look a bit. I'll be quite honest. I think I'm very flattered by the comparison.
I think he is.
I think
you both are. You're both very handsome men.
No. If I were Neil Patrick Harris, I would have before being told that I look like this.
But I'm going to make it my life's ambition to tell Neil Patrick Harris he looks like you and see what he says.
Yeah, there we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Peter.
Oh, okay. I know a few of these.
Yes, sorry, I was going to say, talk us through the board.
Sorry, some of them, yes. So Una Stubbs is the actress in Sherlock, and the song by Squeeze is Up the Junction. Well, I'm going to go for the top one, and that's an umlaut.
An umlaut, or with the umlaut over it, umlaut. There we are. Let's find out how many of our 100 people said umlaut. Well, 55 is the high score, 24 is the low. Look at that, 23. Very nicely done, Peter.
Just from meaning about and laut meaning sound. So turn the sound around, essentially. That's what umlaut means. Funnily enough, your other 2 answers would have scored fewer points. You're right about both of them. Liz Una Stubbs, she would have scored you 15. One of my favourite songs of all time, Up the Junction. Absolutely right with that. And that would have scored 9 points. It's been a lovely answer. Frank Gardner's second novel. I'm amazed you called it this, because it's also quite famously the name of another big thriller, Ultimatum. 1 point for ultimatum.
There we go. Thank you. We are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at the scores. 23, best score of the past, Peter. Very well done. Then we travel up to 24, where we find Alec and Olivia, and then up to 55, where Alicia and Sue currently reside. Sue, you know what I'm going to recommend you do. Good luck with that. Let's have something lovely at the end of the board by the time it gets to you. We'll come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Okay, let's put 6 more clues that describe answers with 2 U's in them. Here we go. We've got Seventh Planet from the Sun, discovered in 1781 by William Herschel. 1989 comedy film starring John Candy and Macaulay Culkin. Warwickshire Home, bought by philanthropists Lord and Lady Beresford in 1927. 1981 UK #1 hit for Queen and David Bowie. Collective term for the Imperious, Cruciatus and Avada Kedavra spells from the Harry Potter novels. And woman who played Honey Rider in the Bond film Dr. No. There we go. Rebecca.
Yes. I know a few of them. Again, it's just deciding which one to go for. But I think I will try the collective term for the Harry Potter novels as unforgivable curses.
Unforgivable curses, says Rebecca. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said unforgivable curses. Here is your red line. Unforgivable curses is right. And gets you through. Very well done. Now you get to 3. That's a great answer. Taking your total up to 26.
Yeah, very nicely done. A generation of Harry Potter fans going, how did they score 3? Yeah, one of those scores based on abracadabra, which some people say comes from the Aramaic for may the thing be destroyed. Just suppose it, abracadabra, something disappears.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Olivia, you are on 24, by the way. 30 or less gets you through.
I think a Harry Potter question was my dream, so that's slightly
I saw you deflate a little bit.
That's slightly unfortunate, and now I'm going to take a bit of a punt and say that the 1989 comedy film is Home Alone.
Home Alone. Home Alone. Let us draw a veil over the double U requirements for a moment, but Home Alone, possibly. Here is your red line. Let's see what happens when we say Home Alone. Sorry, I scored you 100. Takes your total up to 124.
Sorry, Olivia. Points can do funny things to the brain, especially when someone's just taken your answer and you're ready to give it. It's not Home Alone. Sorry.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Sue. Sue, you're on 55. If you can score 68 or less, there's a place for you in the head.
It's hard knowing which one to go for. It's going to score 6 days or less. I'll go for the film with John Candy and Macaulay Culkin. I think it was Uncle Buck.